You tuned in to the Facts Over Feelings podcast. I am your host, the Iceman. More bounce to the ounce, and I say what counts. Don't nobody go home till the fat man gets it in. What's happening, chocolate people? Back up in you one more again. If you don't have it, make sure you go get it. The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1, my first book. You can get it at asktheiceman.com, or you can get it at Amazon, along with From Hebrews to Negroes DVD. Can you dig it? Well, we back up in you one more again. And I was trying to wait a minute before. I know we were going to convene at 7 p.m. I'm sorry. I apologize to anybody who was waiting and there was nothing to see or hear. So I apologize for that. Hey guys, make sure you get the likes up. So we are here. We are here to funk you right on up. Can you dig it? You know what? I'm gonna say something. Let me close this door real quick. Okay. Okay. There we go. All right. So, welcome to the Facts Over Feelings podcast. If you just joined us, I'm your host, the Iceman, aka Sexy Leroy. I wanted to address this Deion Sanders situation. Let me say something about that real quick. There have been people at the last game with Jackson State, as well as people on social media, talking about F. Dion and, you know, just saying all kind of vile things about the brother. Calling him a sellout, saying that, he's a traitor. He went out, he gonna come to a HBCU and then leave and go back to the plantation. People are even saying that kind of stuff. Let me say this. Before I get into my commentary, let me say this. People, here's the deal. If you haven't joined us as of late, in order to, okay, those of you who are subscribers, you can post in the chat room as much as you want. Here's the difference. Here's what the difference is. If you guys are not posting in the chat room and not participating, then we'll just end the show. I'm not going to warn you. I'm just going to end the show. Okay. The first thing I'm going to say, when I start fundraising, which I am right now, as we do every year, we do the book bag, school supply drive from August to December. So we have another week before we cut it off. So I probably will fundraise today because we only got another week to go. So please donate what you can. The Cash App ID is $ the Iceman 1906. Go ahead and plug that into your Cash App and put that information in there and donate today. Remember, we only have one more week. So let's get it on. I want to welcome everybody to another episode of the Iceman Show podcast, Facts Over Feelings, where we get it on Tuesday, or sometimes we do different days, but depending on what's going on. But we're here, God willing. Now, getting back to Dion, people are all over the country talking crazy about Dion. Let me say this. First of all, let me give you some fun facts. Because of Deion Sanders, because of his coaching tenure at Jackson State University, he brought in $30 million. He called Walmart one time and said, "We need a new football field." Walmart delivered. Do you know how much a field costs? I remember my high school, because of the Olympics, we got a state-of-the-art $4 million track. We were the only school, I believe at that time, in that whole district of thousands and thousands of high schools. We were the only high school with that kind of track. Everybody else had dirt. Okay, everybody else was kicking up dust while we were running on a professional track that the Olympians run on. And it made a huge difference because we weren't getting all them injuries like we were getting when we ran on dirt and that hard ass dirt. Because what they're supposed to do, they're supposed to take non-potable water and run water all over the dirt, and then they're supposed to take it looks like a piece of a section of fence, and they drag it all over the track a few times to get all the pebbles and rocks out of there. Then they paint the lanes on the track. It helps some. It doesn't help a lot, but it does help some. And your times are going to be slower on that dirt. Because when we ran people that had dirt tracks, it was a step down like you wouldn't believe. Cost $4 million back then in the 80s, in the early 80s. So I'm quite sure that track of that field cost Walmart probably $20 million. What up, Mr. Shaw? Yeah. You know what? I gotta let these folks know. I gotta let Instagram know that we online. We online. Hold up, y'all. What up, y'all? It's the Iceman Facts Over Feelings podcast. We live right now. Come by and check us out. We're talking about some real deep stuff tonight. Come on by and check us out. We live on the Mad Voodoo Man channel. Dig it. Hold up, y'all. Let me get this popping. Because I was wondering. Hold up, man. We're missing something here. What up, everybody? Okay, I'm gonna have to go upstairs and grab something real quick, but let me finish this thought on Dion. Dion signed a 3-year contract to coach Jackson State football team. They were undefeated. Now, the first year, I don't know what the record was. I think they did lose a couple games. Okay, I think they lost a couple games. I think they lost 2 games that first season. Last season, I believe they were undefeated, and this season so far, with 1 game to go, they're undefeated. How many coaches can say that at any level? Now, the SWAC is considered D1, but it's like D1 light. It's like, okay, y'all D1, but you can never play for the national championship because of your strength of schedule and other reasons. We know you'd get blown out. That's one reason. Let me turn this light on, man. Because I was like, why am I dark? Okay, that's why. Okay, and so I think they've only lost 2 or 3 games so far. That's unheard of at any level. Why? Because at that level, them guys feel like they ain't got nothing to play for. They not on TV. Now, remember, the guys that go to these HBCUs, these are guys who didn't get recruited at all by white schools because of their skill set. Maybe they're not that good. They're not that athletic. Their numbers are not off the charts. Whatever. Sometimes it's size, got something to do with it. Although if you got a 6'3" lineman, size is not the issue. It's probably their talent level. Okay. But what he did was no short of outstanding. And it shows that Coach Prime ain't no joke. You digs? Coach Prime ain't no joke. Now, a lot of my Facebook friends are HBCU graduates. I have HBCU graduates in my family. My daughter is a HBCU graduate. And I see firsthand the second rate, third rate facilities. Some of these HBCU weight rooms are worse than some high school weight rooms. Who's going to be motivated with second rate equipment? Dion, they got them to redo the whole. They did the whole weight room. Now it's on the same level as a Mississippi or a Mississippi State. They got them facilities. They got people to Dion got people to donate money to get new uniforms. Okay? Think about this. I want you to think about this list of accomplishments this man did. He didn't just coach the team because he could have done that. He could have just walked out there on the field and been like, "Hey man, I ain't doing nothing else. Y'all lucky to have me." He didn't come at them like that. He came at them with respect. Because if he didn't respect HBCUs, he wouldn't be there. You can best believe a coach and a player of Dion's stature wouldn't walk by an HBCU, which is why the talent level isn't that good. Let's keep it a buck. And I used to tell my daughter this. I'm like, look, man, I say, yeah, it's fun to go to any college, but an HBCU ain't the real world. When you go to work, you looking at that white man and that white woman. You ain't looking at Dr. So-and-so, black Dr. So-and-so at the university, or your professors or students that look like you. And hell, with the way these HBCUs have sold out, they got damn near, some of these HBCUs got half the student body is white and Mexican. And you call yourself a HBCU, having events on campus that are disrespectful to foundational Black Americans. I mean, just all kind of stuff going on these HBCUs. Firing Black professors that ain't buck dancing and bojangling for $1. I've heard all kind of stuff. Mismanagement of funds at Texas Southern University. They almost got decertified through the governing body that gives them their accreditation. If they was to lose, if they had lost their accreditation back in 2010, I believe, when this happened at Texas Southern University, they would have had to stop all operations right then and there. They would have had to. They would have been shut down as far as instruction is concerned. And that is the only reason for them to exist is because of the student body. Without them, you ain't got no customer base. he got them to put a swimming pool in there. Now, you know how much an Olympic-sized swimming pool costs. You talking about a few $1,000,000 if it's done right. Because Dion knew or knows that aquatic therapy is some of the best therapy you can give somebody. A lot of people say, hey, once they start doing that underwater, doing that physical therapy in water, I start improving. I got my mobility back. Think about that for a second. He did what he could to shield his players from that water issue, and I finally found out exactly what happened, and it's because mayors and city councilmen and women made some horrible business decisions years ago, and now it's costing them when it comes to the water because they don't have the money to pay Siemens to run that equipment to their equipment to run the pumps and all that kind of stuff at the water treatment facility. They ain't paid the bill because they ain't got the money. He had his players in the hotel where they can wash their butt. Let me say this. Let me wrap this up, man, because I got to go upstairs and grab something. Let me say this to y'all. If any of you are one of these people who are online talking about Dion's a sellout, Dion chasing that paper, he clout chasing, he chasing paper, he already papered up, he already worth $40-50 million, and he out here trying to get caked up some more. Let me explain something to you. I really don't even have to go down his resume, but let me just do that real quick. 2 Super Bowl rings. He set records as a cornerback in the NFL. I think he played 14 or 15 seasons. I think he played for 5 or 6 different teams. Last being the Baltimore Ravens. He was a world-class sprinter. He ran like a 10.2, 10.3. Dion ran a 4.2 at the combine. He even played wide receiver for Atlanta and a couple other teams that he played for. He was a hell of an athlete, but he was also a hell of a football player. He was a first ballot Hall of Famer. You don't get that bust, that jacket and that ring, and I think they give him $1 million. You don't get any of that if you ain't the best of the best. Now, some folks might be questionable. We could probably think of a couple of people who shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. But the controversy would be that, admitting that they don't look like us. Okay? I'm just going to leave it there. Do you know Dion got offers from big time multi-million dollar D1 programs? I don't know why he didn't take it, but he probably felt he wasn't ready. He wanted to go to the worst situation so that he could show people that he's testing himself, not just the players. He's testing himself. Can I do this? I'm confident, but nothing's like experience, His salary was $300,000. Do you know $300,000 for a head coach at a D1 program is a joke? That's like minimum wage. That's like making $15 an hour. if you were a head football coach of a D1 program. He donated half of it, 150,000, to put toward the gym and the locker room. That all that stuff was all that they yanked all that old high school looking stuff out, and they gave them a beautiful pro level locker room, as well as now I don't know what they did for the guest team. Probably did both of them, but they never put the same amount of money into the guest locker rooms than they do at the but I think now they do. I think now they do make sure they do that at all sports stadiums. It can't be world class over here and doo-doo class over here. Anyway, Dion got robbed 3 times, according to a couple of folks in the media. He got robbed 3 times. Okay, they stole his chain. Somebody stole his chain out of his desk or out of his office. He said my office was closed. My door was locked. He said, I don't know who got in there and took. I never heard any more about it, so I don't really know what happened. But Dion brought in other pro players to come talk to the players to inspire them. All told, by the way, one of the players from what I read online, one player got murdered and stuffed in his trunk in his car. I never heard any of this stuff. Numerous incidences happening on campus. Dion didn't run. He stayed right there, didn't he? He took the worst of the worst kind of condition for a head coaching job. And not only did he get that program out of the toilet, he made them a national, he put the national spotlight on their asses, on that school. Because believe it or not, people don't want to believe it or not, but people will donate to your school when they see stuff like that. They see your football team playing on ESPN. That contract to show HBCU, man, they wasn't really putting nothing behind that before Dion. They might have showed a HBCU school every now and then during the season, but not like they do now. Now, even the basketball teams are getting some shine. The basketball teams are getting shine now. That TV money is important, man. Because before, the HBCUs were complaining back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s that, hey, man, y'all ignoring these HBCUs, man. These games are on fire, which they are. They're a great experience. I've been to several. I saw the late, great Steve McNair play. I saw him play. The only guys that get picked up from HBCUs to go to the NFL are the outstanding ones. Okay? And just like Dion said last year, he said, out of all of the cats that got drafted by the NFL, none of them came from the HBCU. He said, I want to change that. He called the NFL out. Who else did it? Who else called out the racist ass NFL and lived to tell about it? This man has an impeccable list of accomplishments and talents. Way more than 99% of the coaches that's already at the D1 level. He knows how to inspire and motivate. People think because Dion was flashy and he's, talking about, must be the money and all this kind of stuff with that horrible album. that album was horrible, man. He did that music to Must Be the Music by Secret Weapon. That's a New York band from that they was throwing down when I was in college. Okay? But anyway, Dion pumped life into the whole swag, not just his school. Because some white folks see that and they go, man, let me write them young black men, let me write them $100,000 check to continue to improve the facilities. None of these rich millionaires, black billionaires, and the Oprah did Oprah donate any money? She might have donated money to Tennessee State, where she graduated from. I haven't really heard much. As a matter of fact, I haven't heard of Oprah even going up there lately. Her alma mater. You digs? So let me cut this short because I'm spending way too much time on this. WB Trey, what's up, baby? Miss Raquel, what's happening? Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. To all of these individuals who are saying that Dion sold out, how many of you have changed jobs, have taken a job while you had another job and took another job that paid more money or had more benefits or something, or it was closer to your house? How many of us have done that? I have. I've left jobs and went to another job. Most of the time, it was the right thing to do. Only maybe once or twice was it not the right thing to do. But anyway, that's water under the bridge. We have to stop denigrating our people when they go out here and put their lives on the line, or put their safety on the line, or put their reputation on the line. We have to stop this. We have to stop, man. Because if Dion was a lot like some of us, when them people was chanting, go Dion, Dion, get out of here, F Dion, I probably would have said something, which wouldn't have been the right thing to do because it would have been impulsive. But I say this Dion situation is why a lot of black folks don't want to do nothing for less fortunate black folks. Ricky Smiley even talked about this. He said, man, we do a toy drive we do a drive where we, give people clothes and give children toys. And he said some of these black folks didn't say thank you, didn't say nothing. Even organizations that they help didn't say thank you. Some of them didn't say thank you. Most of them did. But there's always going to be one who's going to act like a nigga. That's why when you guys contact me, some of you do have, got my phone number. Guys will text me and be like, Ice, how come you ain't doing no more live stream? You see why? Look at how y'all act on here. I tell people to stay engaged, and the first thing you do is you think this is the time to start vacuuming your house. It's not, because you ain't listening. And yes, we are fundraising tonight. Whatever, we don't have no $10 minimum or $10 maximum, whatever you got. If you can donate $1.99, donate that. But we need to fundraise because, We'll only have one more week before this cycle of fundraising ends. Can I count on you guys for that? Can I count on everybody that's watching who ain't subscribers and everybody that is subscribers and everybody in the chat room? Can I count on you to donate tonight? Can you go over to Cash App? Cash App ID is up there in the chat room. $ the Iceman 1906. Let's end this cycle on a strong note. Can we do that? Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've always liked Dion, but Dion, it's only been maybe the last 15 years how the media taken Dion seriously. Okay? Because they try to act like he was just a party animal and that's it. And that wasn't the case. Dion took time in the film room to see what he had to do out there on that field. Every quarterback that was on the team when he was there was like, man, Dion be in the film room. Or he'll be running, or he'll be, working on his legs or something. Obviously it's hard to see now that he was that kind of athlete, but he was a natural athlete. A lot of guys I got a cousin here. I got a cousin over here, not too far from me, that was like that. He could play any sport. He could play baseball, basketball, football. Hell, he could probably play hockey. Some people just got it. But I'm one of the ones who had to work at it. No problem. You can't be all things. And I'm not trying to be. Black folks, we got to stop disrespecting our people like this. Because let me say something to you. You think Emmitt Smith or Michael Irvin gonna coach some football? Huh? You think they gonna go coach some football? They for $300,000 a year or $150,000 a year? No. Them Negroes they want top dollar. Because Michael Irvin probably making $5 million, $10 million a year on the NFL network. And then, on inside the NFL, the late, great Lynn Dawson used to co-host that show. He passed away not too long ago. He was Kansas City quarterback, one of the best. He won, that first Kansas City Super Bowl back in the 70s. I think it was the second Super Bowl they won. Okay? He's on there. That's on Showtime. So he getting mad checks. Because Michael R. Irvin is just as great as he was on the football field. He's that great in front of that camera. He's exhilarating. He wants you, he draws you in. There are a few people on TV that draw me in. Michael Irvin is one of them. Dion's one of them. Michael Vick's one of them. The guys that are on the Fox football morning show, TB and all those guys, I love all of them. Howie, Michael Strahan, the coach. Now I think they got coach, the retired New Orleans Saints coach. They got him on there now. So it's like 6 of them. Sometimes, what's his name? I think he's calling games off. Gonzalez, that used to play for, used to be the tight end at, Hall of Fame tight end at the Chiefs, who's played for the Chiefs. One of the best tight ends to ever do it. Deion Sanders is a national treasure as far as sports are concerned. He's a good dude. And Ricky Smiley said, even before my show blew up, Deion used to come big up our show. He used to come kick it with us when he played in Dallas. He said, me and Deion been cool for 20-something years. I ain't heard nobody speak ill of Deion. Nobody, even white people. Cats that he know in the media. Cats that he know when he was at the NFL channel. You've never seen any scandals attached to Deion Harris. But Michael Irvin done had several dust ups, a couple of which could have landed him in prison if he would have had the wrong judge up there, or he would have had if he didn't have no money like most of us for a $500,000 defense, especially when you got white women involved, or nine. I think one of them was Arab and the other one was white, or some, they was a mixed race, but I don't think there were no black women in there. Then they had to show, Michael Irvin and them having sex with them women to get them off. His lawyers, they had to do what they had to do. That had to be real embarrassing. Hopefully they, blacked out they asses and all that kind of shit. They probably did. Then again, they probably did. Sometime in court, they show the raw footage. As gory or nasty or horrible as it is, the jury, I've been on juries. And you got to look at that stuff. It's horrible. Seeing somebody, being chopped up by AK-47 or some other kind of chopper, like a Uzi, a Tech 9 or a Mac 10. But Deion, not only did he prove himself, he really didn't have to prove himself. He could have stayed at the NFL channel, making millions of dollars every year. Look how many dumbass black men on the NFL channel been fired because they can't keep their hands to themselves, or they coming in there trying to holler at the makeup, the makeup girl, makeup artist. Maybe that did work over here at CBS. Maybe she did give you some booty. But this woman, you should have known that this woman didn't want to sleep with you. I'm not going to mess up no $1 million a year job. I'm not going to mess up my money. Oh, no. It's short of, now if you start doing some racial shit, yeah. I'm a raise up because I ain't going to whoop your ass and end up going to jail. It ain't worth it. You dig? Get off of Deion's ass, man. Stop thinking that somebody owe you something. I don't have to sit here and prophesy to you, tell you what's around the corner. I told you guys in 2017 when that guy, that CIA dude, shot up that country music festival in Las Vegas and wounded 500 some people and killed 30 something people. I told you this was going to become regular, didn't I? I told you these mass shootings were going to become as regular as you going to the toilet. I told y'all back then, because not long after that was the Stoneman Douglas shooting where that piece of dog doo-doo went in there and killed all them innocent teachers and staff and children, 17 children. You ain't gonna get no martyr status from me doing no stupid mess like that, doing stuff like that to innocent people who ain't got nothing to do with your situation. That's why it kind of irked me last week when y'all did a mutiny last week, and because I wasn't talking about women, y'all didn't want to tune in. When I was talking about the Walmart shooter. And I was breaking down the mental health and the theory behind that, how that boy came to do what he did. And y'all wasn't interested. That's why sometimes I won't even say nothing. I just click, and go upstairs. I don't say nothing. Because at some point, I have to get tired of your shit. You ain't gotta be here. And I'm not going to stop fundraising. And again, those of you who are just joining us, we are fundraising tonight, and we will do it next Tuesday because next week is the cutoff for getting the donations out doing the book bag drive and doing the school supply drive. We always end at or before mid-December because we don't start back up until January to go for, to go for the spring semester. Because, by the time these kids get, especially these younger kids, get to Christmas time, that backpack they got is shot. It's nasty, it stinks, and they need a new one. And these book bags ain't cheap. Hell, I think you can't even get a decent book bag for less than about $50, $60. Now you get some old cheap ass plastic shit with Mickey Mouse on it, but that's gonna have a rip in it in 2 weeks. They're not good book bags. It's just cheap shit, cheap licensing agreements with Disney or some other company. Marvel got, your son wants the Spider-Man book bag. Fine. Backpack. You digs? Now, let me say this before we go on to the topic. Most of these D2, D3, I'm talking about all coaches. Most of these D2, D3, and other private interscholastic sports leagues, and I'm including the SWAC as well. Most of these coaches ain't shit. Most coaches, especially for football and basketball, most football and basketball coaches are nothing but used car salesmen. That's all they are. They know how to go in there and interview real well. And this dude was 1 in 6 at his last job. Now, why would you want him? I'll be looking at some of these white coaches. I'll be like, wait a minute here. He was trash when he was over here. How does this dude get a job at a D1 school making $2 or $3 million a year, and look what he did at the smaller D1 school he was at? The best he did was 500. Don't stop him from getting them jobs, do it. I got a cousin that played football for University of Kansas, the Jayhawks. And his coach was a racist. He was a racist piece of trash. But the University of Minnesota hired him. And all he did was run that team in the ground. They were better before he got there. You digs? Most of these SWAC coaches, let's be honest. Let's keep it a buck. Most of these HBCU coaches are trash. They're trash. Now, you could say they're a product of their resources. You could say that. A lot of these cats, they even said, Ricky Smiley even said that there's cats at these D1 white schools who are saying that Deion was a sellout, F Deion. I'm like, why are you chiming in? Why would you do that? Only black folks do that kind of stuff to their own people. Everybody's watching, people. I don't give a damn what them, no honkies or spicks, or I don't give a damn what they think. That's because you ain't got no sense and no self-respect and no self-restraint. Just all kind of disrespect toward Deion. He could have went to a school like Colorado first. He said, I got approached by a couple schools, one of which was Nebraska. He didn't want that job. Matter of fact, I wouldn't want that job because that school don't want too many national championships. They trying to come back. They ain't trying to stay mediocre. Now, they hired a real good white coach. I forgot who they hired. Y'all probably know. but they probably gonna be good. Now, the brother that filled in, he was just gonna be interim. So what I'm saying, people, is this: somebody like me that has something a few things that I mastered in life. Would you sit here if I didn't sound like I knew what I was talking about and I was believable? Would you actually sit here longer than 2 seconds? No, you wouldn't. Because the first thing you would say, this dude's an idiot. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. That's why I cut down on the cursing. Because you got a lot of these church Negroes who won't tune in unless you ain't cursing. Look, dude, sometimes, profane language, ain't no wrong with profane language. This is not a children's show. This is not a children's broadcast. So if it's funny to me how a lot of church Negroes are offended by profanity, but they ain't offended by white supremacy. They ain't offended by racism. They're not offended by being treated like a third-class citizen, but they're offended about some damn words. Remember back in 2004, Reverend Sharpton's ignorant ass and a bunch of these dumb reverends went and had a funeral talking about we burying the N-word. They went and got a casket and everything. Now, some of y'all probably young, you don't remember this, but back around the time, I think it might have been right before Katrina hit, they had the nerve to waste thousands of dollars on that silly ass shit. You outraged by the word nigga, but you ain't outraged about white supremacy, racism, and your third class citizenship because the Hispanics just moved into second place the last few years when Obama was in there. I told you every bill they pass got billions of dollars attached to it, and none of them billions are going to you. These DACA motherfuckers are getting free education. They don't deserve shit. They don't deserve a damn thing. You break in our country and you get rewarded for it. And our ancestors built this mug and you can't help us. You can't do right by us. Okay, we'll tear this motherfucker up then. Hey guys, we need to get these donations popping. Only one person donated. You want me to stop the broadcast? I will. Remember, I'm going to tell you, anytime you hear some music, that means I'm not doing anything. So if you want to play this game, let's play it. Okay? All right, cool. All right. Let me read y'all something real quick. Okay. 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 Here, I'm going to read this. How Caucasians view money. Money, like the fig leaves that are that symbolically cover the human body in TV and movies, the fig leaves, the money represents the fig leaves. Let me summarize this a little bit better. So, when a person covers themselves, it's so you don't embarrass yourself. Because if everybody else is wearing clothes and you're not, then obviously you look ridiculous. Okay? Fig leaves, money, Caucasians use money to cover up their insecurities and low self esteem. So, white bodily shame and is designed to give a sense of value when no value is present. Its immersion in shame and valuelessness operates at a level unavailable to conscious thought. Money is considered at surface levels of the white or Western psyche to have high value, which is like saying that white is genetically superior. However, because in deep reality, money is designed to cover white body shame and represents shame, the real value of the money will always rise and then fall. The latter means that in reality, money is worthless and debased, which is the same as tanning the white skin after saying that white is superior. This reflects the fact that while whites are saying they are superior, they unconsciously feel inferior to melanated people, melanin pigmented, the melanin pigmented global majority. The concept of white skin superiority is the same as inflated money, worthless. ISIS papers, people. I had thought about this, but the way she laid it out, because I've been telling y'all for years that Caucasians have a low self-esteem collectively, which is why they have to, they not only do they have to feel like they're superior to you and they feel they have to, them driving around in $100,000 car doesn't mean the same thing as it does to you. When you get $100,000 car, you trying to stunt and get some women. Him and her on the other hand, they're driving that $100,000 car because their self worth, their self value is tied to that $100,000 car. You see what I mean? That's why she said the price of the value of money goes up and down. They don't go to tanning booths so that they can try to be black. They go to tanning because tanning represents I'm one of these upper echelon type of white people. That's what they're saying. Look at me. My self worth is higher than yours because I can afford to tan every week. See how that works? See, this book has, I already understand Caucasians and white supremacists, but this book just confirmed a lot of this stuff that I already had thought about years ago. Because I've been telling y'all this stuff before I even read this book. Actually, I'm not done. I only have a few pages left, but it's so interesting. I'll be taking notes. Okay? But I read that for a reason. Because when we get into the topic, I'm going to be breaking this stuff down to the theoretical level. Now, those of you who have never taken psychology, I don't know if they cover this in Psych 1. I think they do. Behavioral psychology. And let me close this door because this TV is still loud. The problem is it starts getting hot in here. Hot and so hot at her. So there's a thing, there's brain operations. When you're a baby, your brain is working. Your brain works in utero. Your brain works when you are expelled from the womb. Okay, when you're born. Your body, your mind, your undeveloped mind is already performing thousands of functions. Okay, autonomically. When we talk about the id, the ego, and the superego, this is what we're talking about. Now, the id is I haven't been through this stuff in a minute, so bear with me. I'm not gonna get deep into this stuff because some of this stuff you won't understand if you're not in mental health. The id represents the oldest, most primitive psyche agency, representing the biological foundations of personality. Okay, we're going to be going back and forth to this. Okay, basically, your id is your brain telling you you gotta pee. Your brain telling you you're hungry. Your brain telling you you have to defecate. The id is also there to for sexual reasons. Like you might see, and I'm not trying to be vulgar here. I'm just telling you what I've observed, even with my own children, but also other children that I have been in contact with who may have been under me and my ex-wife's care. Maybe they would stay in the weekend. We had to change diapers. I ain't have a problem with it. When your child is crying because they want a certain toy, that's the id. When they're crying because they're hungry, that's the id. When they're crying because they don't feel good, that's the id working. This is your grunt level functioning. Okay? And hunger, got to use the bathroom, and sex. And the sexual part is the erotogenic zones, which is the anus, the mouth, and the phallic, which is the penis. So you may have observed, when you're changing your son's diaper, that his little man thing was hard. That has nothing. He ain't in control of that yet. Okay? Mouth, ass, penis, or vagina. Okay? It also contains your sexual libido. Okay? We're gonna go back to the id. We're gonna cover all three of these on the strength. The ego is a modification of the id that emerges as a result of the direct influence of the external world. It is the executive of the personality in the sense that it regulates libidinal drive energies so that satisfaction accords with I went too low. Executive of the personality in the sense that it regulates libidinal drive energy so that satisfaction accords with the demands of reality. Okay, let me talk about the sexual libido real quick, about the ego. The ego represents your parents, society, and what you see externally, what you see happening around your world, your micro world. That's what that is. The ego regulates the id. Okay? Let me give you an example of ego. You go and when you're a little boy, I'm sticking with little boys because our phallic system is external. Okay? I know plenty of you guys have seen little brothers, little cousins, and your own kids, if they were boys, take their diaper off, especially if it's wet or it's soiled. They will yank the diaper off because they don't want that diaper on them, but they more interested in playing. So they might rip that diaper off or that pull up off, exposing their phallic, Now, for a baby that age, 1.5, 2 years old, that's appropriate for them to do that. And they running around with their junk in their hand. Mainly because it's there and they're curious. That's why once your kids start talking and get around 3, 4, 4.5, you need to start putting clothes on because they're gonna be like, Mommy, how come your body ain't the same as daddy's? Now you need to start putting clothes on. They're asking age appropriate questions, so don't get mad. You shouldn't be walking around the house butt ass naked anyway, like that. Now, sometimes you can't avoid it. You got to take the child into the stall with you at the, in the public bathroom. Hey, sisters, keep doing it. Brothers, keep doing it. Don't give a damn about what nobody say. Okay? Because I did it. Sometimes there ain't a unisex bathroom available. Or it is, and somebody done messed it up because it ain't at their house. But their bathroom at home is spick and span. Probably, huh? So the ego regulates the id, and it tells your son running around with his junk in his hand that that's okay. And that's based on the reaction that he sees with you, the mom, maybe the grandfather, the grandmother. Everybody think it's funny that you run around with your junk in your hand with no diaper on, giggling. Again, that's age appropriate behavior. He is aware that there's something down here he can touch, and it makes him feel good when he touches it. I'm not trying to be vulgar here. This is Freud, people. Anybody that's ever studied Freud, this is what you study. Okay? This kind of agency. So the ego is you. Okay, let me give a full example. That's just one example, but that's not the only example. Let me give you the second part of that. You're 15 years old. You're a boy. Again, we can say boys or girls. You're a 15-year-old boy or girl. Is it appropriate if your id tells you that, you should drop your drawers and take your 15-year-old junk out, or you should pull up your shirt and show your boobies? The first thing you're going to say is this person has poor impulse control. Why? Because somebody hasn't taught them at that level before they got that old that was inappropriate behavior. That doesn't mean they don't know what they're doing. It just means that there's no regulation of that action. Now, the superego is them knowing better and still doing it, knowing that it's wrong. And we see that all the time. Okay? That's why the prison is full of people with this kind of id, ego, and superego. Now, the superego tells you that it's kind of this is not this, things just don't stay stacked on top of each other. I want you to dig, if you will. Now, the ego and the superego are constantly moving like this. The id stays constant. It never changes. The ego and the superego change because you're living a lifespan. 10 years ago, you were 30. Today, you're 40. You're not going to be the same person you was back then, 10 years ago. Might not even look the same. Okay? The superego tells those two 15-year-old individuals that pulling their boobies out or pulling their junk out is inappropriate and against social norms. That's superego. See how I'm breaking this stuff down? The id is your basic human functions: peeing, defecating, eating, drinking, everything that is something that are bodily functions that have to happen in order for you to be somewhat comfortable. And by the way, everybody share the link on your social media right now. Take the link from this video. We about to get deep. And we fundraise. Everybody, let's hit the Cash App. We fundraising. We only got 1 week left. Let's get it on. More than 2 or 3 people should be donating right now. We only got about 2 or 3 people that donate. So let's get on it. Let's get it cracking, y'all. Or we just gonna keep stopping. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Because we keep stopping. So all of this stuff, let me read what Mr. Banks said. By the way, what's up? What's happening, bro? Good to see you. Mr. Banks wrote, they call Dion a sellout, but they punch Master's clock every morning and smile in his face. Thank you, brother, because I was going to take it there. But I didn't because I was like, man, you know, it don't take much for niggas to get their feelings hurt on here. It don't take much. It don't take much, especially females and butt-hurt dudes. Can't take this tongue lashing. Because I've had people email me and say, man, I respect what you're doing, but you too harsh. I said, well, do you really think me being soft on people is going to get their attention? Being soft ain't going to get people's attention. I'm not going to meet you where you are. You're going to meet me where I am. That's not, otherwise we all would be contributing to this live stream. And we know that not to be the case. Now, when you see, with the people, now you have to understand the graveyard and the jails and the prisons are full of people with poor impulse control. People who didn't get their ego. Remember, we're not talking about being egotistical. We're not talking about that kind of ego. I should have said that at first. We're not talking about somebody, yeah, up there, I'm the shit, nigga, yeah. That's not what I'm talking. That's not the ego we talking about. That's another kind of ego. But that's with males. Males are encouraged to have an ego because that's part of your survival mechanism. If you ain't got no drive to fend for yourself, you're gonna end up like a lot of these old black men you see homeless on the street, smoking crack, selling booty, going in and out of prison because they've been institutionalized. Remember, the prison is the super ego. I mean, if their ego was working, they wouldn't end up incarcerated. Now, I'm not saying that brothers don't get caught up on some racist bullshit, because most of the time we do. Because most black people are in prison right now for drug offenses, not violence. Now, there are folks that's in there because of drugs and violence, because you can't plead insanity being chemically induced. No judge in this country will let that motion go forward with your attorney presenting that argument. He'd be like, stop right here. Counsel in my chambers. That's what they talking about when they go up there. Say, are you presenting the argument that this man killed this woman because he was crazy? Is that what you saying? Well, he was in a drug-induced haze, so technically he's chemically insane. Let me stop you right there. That ain't an argument. You better find another one, and quickly. Okay, ain't no judge in this country gonna let that stand, because it doesn't. The law just doesn't. The letter of the law doesn't make sense. That's a prosecutor's night, a prosecutor's dream, for you to come in there arguing that somebody being on meth is a good reason why they should go home or be institutionalized. Criminally institutionalized, and all they're going to do is give you lithium and all these powerful drugs to manage your no good ass. See, I'm talking about criminality right now because this is how they estimate how many prisons they gonna have to build. Okay? Right now, they're looking at your children's scholastic scores and saying, oh, we better build about 10 more of these motherfuckers because it looked to me like Denquarius and Quantavius and all them gonna be our core customer. Look at their grades. Right now, they're doing this shit. You think I'm making this stuff up? You'll never see this stuff on TV. If you see, look, this is why I keep CBS.com on my TV in my bedroom. I don't have no cable hookup to. I do have some type of cable box, but I don't watch none of that shit. Freevee and all that old goofy shit. There's a lot of goofy shit on there. A lot of old shows. Everybody loves Rain. I don't want to see that shit. Bunch of old rerun shows and cartoons. I don't want to see that. This is how these white supremacists look at you. They say, remember when I told you there were 4 quadrants of parenting? Okay? I might not remember all of them because I don't have my McClung book down here. But one is, authoritarian. That's the parent or parents who act like lords and masters rather than parents, and they want to micromanage every facet of their child's life. The authoritarian. Then they got the forgot what they call the one where the parent lets the child do what they want to do, which is usually what happens in single mom households. To you know, she's so worn out from dealing with work, trying to put some food on the table. When kids whining and crying and carrying on, they don't want to hear that. So what do? They stick your kids in front of them racist ass pedophile Disney movies, just to try to shut them up. That ain't parenting. But you brought it on yourself because you ain't got no husband over there. Child support to me ain't worth all that. I'd rather have that man in the house. Because there ain't a man I know that don't want to be under the same roof with their children. Okay? So these people, these PhDs and that consult the CIA and who work for the CIA, they're telling them the same thing I'm telling you. Look at these black kids. Look at these homes they coming out of. There's no restraint being taught. There's, everything is impulse. That's why when these guys grow old and they don't end up being a homosexual or just a moist heterosexual dude, if they end up being the pussy hound. I talk about that in here. One of my kids contacted me after they read my book talking shit because I didn't say no names, but they knew who I was talking about in here. Because if you remember, there's a long ass list in here of the stuff I'm talking about right now. The 4 quadrants of child rearing. Now those are 2 of them. The other 2, I forgot them, and I have to read back up. I'm gonna have to read up on them. But there's 4 quadrants. All of us have come through one of them. Now you can have a home that's got multiple quadrants, like more than one, but it's rare because most parents don't change their parenting style. If they're a laissez-faire, lazy ass parent, they're gonna be lazy from the time you are infant all the way up to 25 years old and beyond. Okay? So they look at your ego and they say, all these young black men and women coming out of these single female headed households, they ain't gonna have no impulse control. That's why when you get these little soft ass dudes, they be at the club and here you come pulling up in your $200,000 Lamborghini that you just got, because you got your royalty check. and you fresh and so clean, you looking good, and all the females are choosing when you walk in. They see them broke, dusty fools, and they like, some more of these broke dudes up in here. So all night, them dudes are mean mugging your ass. And then sooner or later, they're going to do something to get you to engage with them. I know because I've had this happen to me. And I didn't end up fighting because I was like, you know what, bitch, you ain't worth it. Let them niggas take you home. Okay? I don't play, y'all. Anybody that know me know I don't put women out. And I'm going back to that. I've gone back to that. Okay? I don't want no relationship with none of these American women. Hell, I don't know if I want a relationship with any women. Because the ones overseas are just as bad. They might go ahead and give you some booty up front, but they're just as pathetic and horrible people, just like the women over here you trying to get away from. And you think that's something different over there just because you think they po. Them people ain't po. I see them women on Tinder. They wearing Burberry and Gucci and Chanel and Fiorucci or whatever the hell. And they living in broke ass Bogota. How does she afford that? You don't think of that because your ego ain't been fed. You ain't got no man around to teach you don't simp. To teach you don't trick your money off on women. Some people just got that natural mental apparatus in their brain. Like me, I'm cheap anyway. I'm thrifty and I'm cheap. So you ain't gonna get a dime out of me anyway. Okay? That's why I meet women all the time, but you don't hear me talking about them because they get X'd out too quickly from saying something stupid over the phone. Because I went back to meeting women in public. Fuck all that online shit and that Tinder shit or Bumble. Fuck all them apps and websites. Because all of them ain't shit. They ought to be sued. They ought to have Match.com and eHarmony and all of them. And somebody should file a class action lawsuit against them people. They have absolutely for black men on these apps. You have a zero chance in hell of getting a woman on there. Not the kind of woman you want. Now, trash, if you into trash, there's plenty of that. There's plenty of some other man's trash on there. I don't want another man's trash, which is why I don't do relationships no more. I thought that's what I wanted. Hell, if I want a relationship, I'll go get me a dog. Because that dog gonna be way more loyal. And I ain't got to work that hard. All I got to do is feed him, give him water, play with him a little bit, let him run around the backyard or in the front yard, and that's it. They happy as a pig in slop. Meanwhile, Miss Thang, I got to cater to her feelings. I got to cater to her bullshit ass ideologies. That ain't dating. That's hiring an oppressor. I don't need no oppressor. I already got these white supremacist males and females. I don't need no more oppressors. That's why them letting all these buffer groups in here, these H-1B people, these Indians, and letting this trash from south of the border come over here for free that our tax dollars are paying for. Let's talk about why I'm using the id, the ego, and the superego agencies. The reason why we're covering this tonight is because I want to talk about American women because I've been hearing a lot of funky ass shit out here on these streets. And I'm fully vested in trying to turn the minds around of black women. I don't care about nobody else. I don't want to date nobody else. I'm open to dating other women of other races, but that has proved to be just as problematic in other ways. They might not have a bad attitude, but there's other components of filth that they bring to the situation that black women don't bring. At least the black women I deal with, because I don't date hood rats. I bone hood rats, but I don't date hood rats. Okay? So I wanted to cover this stuff because I want, once and for all, I wanted to get you guys educated on some of the stuff that I'm talking about. Because sometimes I'll be thinking a lot of this stuff goes over you guys' heads. The reason why you guys ain't paying attention. That's why I say, be honest. Tap in the chat room. Ice, could you explain it in a little different way? I'm not really getting this. Guys used to do that. But a lot of those guys, I don't see them no more. My core audience, guys who are here in the chat room every Tuesday. They must be doing other things, or they just ain't interested in what the Iceman got to say. Either way, I don't care. I'm gonna be here regardless. But the ego, and then the super ego, when your super ego is messed up, because this is how you see the macro world. This is the macro world affecting you. Not the ego, which is micro, which is like your parents, your grandparents, anybody that's in a guardian position, like an older brother that's 10 years older than you. Okay? The super ego, if you are out of whack with the super ego, this is the final straw that's going to land you in hot water. Because now you don't, because your ego hasn't been developed as it should have been. Now your super ego's out of whack. Well, how you see the external world outside of your parents, or outside of your cousins, your homies, people you grew up with. When you act like a grunt, which is, I talked about this a long time ago. I remember 10 years ago, I used to do them videos talking about you grits and gravy ass niggas. Remember that? Y'all niggas thought that was hilarious. Like, Ice, man, that was some of the funniest videos you ever put out, talking about grits and gravy. Okay? But Cass was like, I know you ain't talking about me, dude, because I'm a teacher. I know who you talking to. You talking to these cats that need to hear this. You dig? Let me stay on the super ego for a couple of seconds, then we're going to move on. The super ego, when I'm talking about law enforcement, I'm talking about the whole criminal justice system. The way they look at you is they say you're animalistic and you have poor impulse control and you don't respect authority. Now that statement right there is super ego. You don't respect authority because you keep going in and out of jail, doing ignorant stuff, and you back in front of me. I'm talking like I'm a judge. Okay? So what you think that judge is going to do if he done seen you multiple times, or other judges have seen you multiple times? I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. They're going to throw the book at your ass. Because they see your ego's out of whack and you have no restraint. You have poor impulse control. Now, going back to the dude in the club with the Lamborghini, these guys start something with you, and then here they go pulling their straps out and popping you in the mug, taking your life. You don't think by the time this dude get to jail that night, he ain't thinking, man, what did I do? I can't believe because some of them will stay hard till they go where they're gonna spend the rest of their time at. Oh, they hard as a motherfucking county jail. But they get to the state or federal facility, Like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan till they get hit. Okay, everybody got a plan till they get hit upside the head or in the face, get some of that skullduggery. Because when they get to prison, and if they're the punk I think they are, they're gonna end up providing sexual favors. They're gonna go from being Antoine to just Twan. Okay? Now he walking around looking like them dudes on the longest yard, wearing makeup and talking about we the cheerleaders. I'm like, you the ugliest motherfucking cheerleaders I've ever seen. I ain't even looking in y'all direction. I'm like, okay, I don't even want to look at y'all, you ugly mugs. That's what they mean when they say you don't respect authority. That's your super ego being out of whack. Because before you get to that super ego, you better have your ego tight. Because if once you get beyond puberty, they're gonna start holding you accountable, dog. You knew what you was doing when you shot that old man in the face and yanked on his wallet. You knew what the hell you were doing. Don't be up in here crying now, bruh. I see them streets ain't really in you. That's poor impulse control when you see somebody at the club shooting. That's what that is. That's a bunch of infantile-minded young black men, worthless black men out here destroying other people's lives. Because again, they're functioning at the id level, and here they are 30, 25, 30 years, 16, 17, 18 years old. And when you say they ought to know better, they should know better, that's the ego. Y'all getting this? Because if you ain't, I'll explain it differently. And the reason why I'm spending time on this is because when we get to talking about American women, you're going to understand where I'm coming from when I start talking about their behavior. Mr. Ember, what's happening? Well, usually their ideology is some old concocted, fickle, silly, egregious nonsense that probably is somewhat based in feminism. But remember, women only utilize feminism when they trying to get a leg up on you. By going to the police, he beat me. You ain't even touched that woman. He raped me. You wasn't even at her house that day. He said it was sexual misconduct. No proof anywhere. Last I checked, you need evidence. How can you convict somebody based on somebody boo-hooing and crying on the stand? That's bullshit. But remember, the criminal justice system is set up to provide injustice to people with no money and black people, and to provide justice for people who have the complexion for the complexion for the exception. Those folks get justice, even though they don't deserve it. Okay? So when we start talking about American women, he said cold showers and ramen noodles the rest of your life. Exactly. You're going to go out here and kill somebody so you could be around a bunch of ugly ass women guards and a bunch of musty ass dudes for the rest of your life. But you was gangster though. I shot that white man. Pow, pow, pow. There's a dude, I told y'all about that Chicago nigga they locked up very recently that shot some very beloved white baseball coach who was a father and he had children. Now, yeah, he might have cut him off or said some dumb shit. Would that have made you pull out a strap and shoot somebody in the face and ruin somebody's family? Is that worth it? Or is that poor impulse control, poor ego management, and definitely poor super ego management? People, this is the stuff they use to determine locking up your black asses. Figuring out how many more jails we got to build, how many more graveyards we got to allot for all these dead black men and dead bystanders, innocent bystanders who get shot. Some of these black funeral homes, they coming in 3 at a time. Yeah, business is good, but you don't really want that. You'd rather have old people, 80 and 90-year-old people that done lived their life, that checked out checked out due to natural causes, not because they got smoked. But when you live in these hoods around the country, that's when you're susceptible to that type of stuff. That's why I tell black women, sometimes a husband is the difference between you living in the projects and you living in a $300,000 house. I don't think that's a hard decision to make, but to some of you women, it is, because your ego's off. Now let's talk about these females. Now, American women, I get asked this all the time. They say, Ice, why are these women so out of pocket? And I tell them it's more complex than it is. It's more complex to a certain degree on a theoretical level, but at the layman's level, it's pretty cut and dry what's on these women's minds. Okay, now let me check Facebook real quick. Okay, we going strong on Facebook. Okay. So when I talk about these women being out of pocket, you're seeing all this ridiculous behavior. Now, part of the topic today is why barren women are only accepted in America. Let me tie all that in. Okay. If you don't know what a barren woman is somebody that can't have children. Okay. It mainly lends itself as a definition to a woman who is naturally incapable of having children, which is obviously it's a horrible thing. Okay. But it also applies to somebody that got a tubal ligation or partial hysterectomy or complete hysterectomy. Okay? So they're barren as well. This is an old term. It's an old school term. Now, you ask, and the reason why I want to talk about this tonight is because in the news, we're always seeing a bunch of juvenile, infantile, egregious behavior out of a lot of American women of all races and ages. Okay? You have heard me over the years say that, especially like Instagram and Facebook, they're the main culprits of this. You've heard me over the years say that social media was poison. And the only reason why I'm on social media is to promote my live stream, my broadcast. I'm not on here to talk to people. And I do engage with people, but very, very little. If there's something that important to talk about, I'll engage. But most of the time, it's like your thoughts, and they'll show a picture of some big booty chick. I ain't even gonna. Most of the time, I don't even respond to that kind of shit. Now, sometimes I do it because I want to get some of these pics off my desktop. So sometimes I will post some because I might want to use that picture on a live stream to explain what the topic is. Which is why if you look at uh, the channel, the live stream cover photo, it's a picture of Rachel Dolezal, who we received in a by the black delegation. They traded Rachel Dolezal for Tiger Woods. Okay, so now we stuck with Rachel Dolezal. Those of us who are in the black delegation. Now, let's talk about these old women first, and then we'll work our way back. There's several celebrities getting divorces. Sly Stallone and his wife are getting divorced. Now he went on Instagram talking about the main reason why they're getting a divorce is because he didn't want another dog. And I'm saying to myself, was he joking when he said that? Because I know he ain't serious. Saying I know he ain't still being serious right now. Anyway, Dr. Dre was married 20 some years because I think Sylvester Stallone been married at least 17, 18, 20 years. It used to be if you stayed together 10 years, you might as well work it out. I was married 12 years, but like I said, look at the person I was married to. Somebody that had a weak ego and a weaker super ego based on how she was raised. Remember that's important. Most people cannot change their trajectory, people. Most cannot. Not without help, not without professional help. But some of us can self-correct, but very few. I'm one of the ones that I will self-correct in a minute if I thought that my behavior was against the rules of the game, with getting money. That's why that book, The 48 Laws of Power, that ought to be like your Bible. Because the reason why a lot of you guys are beta males is because you had a passive, maybe you had a passive, lazy mama who raised you. So now you go out in the world, you think like a woman. You think like a woman does with a penis. That's where all this comes from. The id, the ego, and the superego, people. I'm tying all this in. So with older women, you're seeing all these old bras getting divorced. You see Jennifer Lopez's ancient ass getting remarried for what, the fourth, fifth, sixth time. Okay. I guarantee her and Ben end up on the outs in 5 or 6 years, if that long. Now, when you see somebody married to somebody 20 some years and this woman walking away, Tom Brady's a classic case. His old lady walked away and had held the ink hadn't dried on their divorce decree before she was out here in South Beach hugged up with another dude. See how these women do? They ain't got no respect. They don't respect us. Tom Brady worth damn near $400 million. Look how he got treated. His woman up here mad at him because he went back to play football. She figured he was going to be done, but according to people close to their family, they said that Giselle been tired of Tom Brady's career moves for the last 5 or 6 years. even when he was in New England. Because probably in her mind, she's saying, how many more Super Bowls do you need to win, dog? Some people need that competitive edge. It'd be one thing if his skills diminished. Tom Brady's skills as a quarterback have not diminished. It'd be one thing if he's out there getting sacked and he was looking like, shit on a stick. But he don't look like a 45-year-old man because he's taking care of his body. He don't eat no sugar. He don't drink. He gets his 8, 9, 10 hours sleep. I don't know if I can sleep that sound when I'm worth 300 some million, because I know somebody want to get it. Okay? Anyway, that drive that Tom Brady has, that's his id. Yeah, I won 7 Super Bowls. Yeah, I know I'm be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but that ain't enough. I still got the hunger. See, Giselle worth $300 million. She was filthy rich. She was stanky rich before she got with him. Okay? And personally, I don't see that Giselle ain't all that attractive to me. And you do know that Giselle is not Brazilian. She's German. Okay? A lot of the Nazis left Germany and went down to Brazil. Okay? Do your research, people. It was some Nazis. A whole lot of Nazis had children down there in Brazil. Okay? Now, she's being selfish by saying, I don't care that he got drive and momentum, and he's still physically able to compete on a high level. She don't care about that. All she care about is you need to be home with me with my children. She knew that Tom Brady did not have a 9-to-5 job. She knew that when she got with him. She knew that he had that hunger in his heart to go out here and be the best he can be at everything he does. I'm like that. I just physically can't keep up. Okay? But I'm very competitive. Nobody will outwork me, especially in my family. You understand me? Because while you out there partying and shaking your ass in the bar, I'm at home strategizing, trying to figure out what my next 5 moves gonna be. I don't think about right now. I think about right now and what I'm gonna do tomorrow, hopefully, God willing, and what I want to do later on in the week, as well as next month, next year. I'm already ahead. Okay, that's how you stay up on shit. But this woman obviously doesn't respect the fact that Tom is one of these ultra competitive dudes. And that he ain't never going to be able to turn that off. He's going to have to find something else. Once he really, truly, mentally say, man, I'm done with this. I can't do this no more. We ain't got the player. Because let's be honest, Tampa, let's keep it a buck. Tampa, the Buccaneers, I saw them play last night. They barely pulled that win out against the sorry-ass Saints. I don't watch that much NFL football anymore. But I try to watch Tampa Bay because I like to watch Tom Brady do his thing. And plus, just like how Deion Sanders was a draw, because before Deion Sanders got to Jackson State University, they weren't selling out games, maybe homecoming, but they weren't selling out every damn game. Now with Deion there, they're selling out every game. Everywhere Tom goes, he's a money magnet. People pick up on that. Now, because Giselle has veto power, she's worth $300-something million. She's got veto power. And since, Tom's probably like, I ain't trying to keep nobody, I ain't trying to be kept. But he love his children. She ain't trying to keep his children from like some of these women, these no good women. If you end up divorced, your marriage was not a success. I don't know what that woman talking about. Okay? My marriage was not a success. You see, I'm divorced. Okay? Now, when you look at Giselle, you say, okay, she worth a grip. She got mad money. She can do whatever the hell she want to do. But she damn, what is she, 40? Or near 40? She's got to be in her late 30s at the least. She considered old. And she got children. 2 children with Tom. Obviously, he got 3 children. You got an older son, Tom Jr., and the other 2 with her. Think about that for a second. Let that marinate. She's saying to herself, look, I can do better. I don't have to put up with this. I got veto power. I got $300 million in the bank. Tom said, okay, I don't want you to leave, but if you don't want to stay, that's, whatever. How long do you think it's going to take before Giselle realized that this was the worst mistake she could have ever made? Because now all she going to be dating is boy toys. Them boy toys get old after a while, just like them girl toys get old. I know, because I done had plenty of them to play with here in this country, not overseas. I didn't have to grab no passport and go anywhere. Because I know how to spit at women. And I ain't the best looking dude, but I get with women because my mouthpiece is crisp. And I got confidence and I talk like a man that knows what he's talking about. That goes a long way with women, people. That if you come in front of a woman, sound like rolling, I'm doing all this stuttering and carrying on and can't complete a sentence because you nervous. Not me. Because in my mind, I say, hey, I can either get these draws or not. It ain't no big deal. If I don't get them, ain't no loss to me. I ain't got to prove nothing to myself. I know how to get women. But to some guys who got a twisted sense of ego, that they're going to be they're going to have low self-esteem, low self-value, low self-worth. But they hide it by joking around all the time. That's a defense mechanism. That keeps you from delving deeper into this person's life. Because joking around makes people think they happy when that ain't got nothing to do with they ain't happy. They just being manipulative. You digs? Now, Giselle, all she gonna meet is a bunch of simps that want a relationship outside of the boy toys. She is going to date, she's gonna end up just like Halle Berry. Halle Berry's worth $100 million. Look, her dude, her boo thing, some little broke dude. I think he work on movie sets or something like that. He ain't got no paper. That dude she did you don't see her with him too much though. Because she don't. I guess she don't want people to think, saying to her like, well, how can you date this broke ass dude? Because that's all Halle Berry can get. Halle Berry ain't fine no more. She ain't a boomerang 1990s fine no more. That I lost respect for her when she did that Monsters Ball movie. Up there demeaning herself for a damn Oscar. That made me want to throw up. I've never seen that movie a second time. Good movie, but it's perverted. Lee Daniels, almost all of Lee Daniels' movies have some pervert bend to it. Anyway, Giselle's gonna find out the hard way, just like a lot of women. I'm either gonna take this ugly simp, like my ex-wife did, that lied through his teeth about how much money he got. You're gonna either end up with him, or you're gonna end up with the good-looking broke boy toy. That's what you're gonna get when you're a single mom and you done aged out of the game. Okay? What's gonna happen is her ego, her super ego, is gonna come in conflict with her id. Let me tell you why I'm saying this. She still got sexual needs, obviously. She still has the need for male attention and male tactile contact. Okay? That doesn't end just because she's old by dating standards. But after the boy toys wear off, after the fun fucking wears off, you have to ask yourself, what's next? What's next for a 40-year-old woman with 2 kids? Regardless of how much money she got. Because remember, the only men who are concerned about a woman's money, like in the case of Gisele Bündchen, is dusty dudes. Because somebody with their own paper, even though I don't have $300 million, I'm still at the top of the food chain in my neck of the woods. I'm a homeowner. I own a very big house, and I have features, around my house and behind my house that nobody else on my block has, which is why I paid more for this house. Okay? But that don't mean nothing to women. A woman will tell you, if you ask a woman, which place would you rather have sex in? A dude's apartment or a dude that got a house? I guarantee every last answer gonna be house, because he's gonna have more features. He probably don't have no roommate like this dude over here in this 2-bedroom apartment with his homie. Every time I come out the room, he out the room, or his woman out the room. People don't want that. They don't want to deal with that. That's one reason I bought a house, because I'm like, man, I'm tired of these apartments. They ripping me off with the deposit. I've had several apartment complexes rip me off. I'm like, you ain't making no money, raise the rent then. So I'm like, I'm done with these apartments. Done, and done. But her id is going to come in conflict with her super ego. Let me explain why. She's going to look at, remember, super ego is the external world behind your circle of people, your inner circle, which is children, mom, dad, brothers and sisters, possibly some aunts and uncles that maybe you grew up around them more, and them acting more as a parent than as an aunt or an uncle. Some people have had that. I haven't, because my mom and dad was like, ain't nobody raising our children but us. Okay? Now, her super ego is going to call, because she's going to look at that macro world, and she's going to say, This is not fair. How come these men with resources are discriminating against women like me who are just as successful? I got I can spend all the money I want and every day and still not go broke. But what these women don't understand is successful men don't give a shit about your money because he got his own. He's coming to the table. Matter of fact, he is the table, regardless of whether you have more resources than him. He's a man who's securing his manhood. He gonna step to this table and be like, "Look, I'm only worth $5 million. I'm not on your level financially." That even he might not be interested. Why? Because a single mom is a liability and her children count for extra liabilities. And no successful man worth his salt gonna waste time with a single mom other than a roll in the hay. Van Hunt, I don't know who the hell he is. Is he somebody that had a record out like 20 years ago? I don't know who that dude is. No, he already signed a $300 million deal with Fox. He's gonna be, you know how Troy Aikman and Joe Buck moved to ESPN Monday Night Football, and I'm just gonna say this. I think they don't seem. They don't look natural like they did on Fox. Monday Night Football chews up commentators. They got Booger McFarlane, a grown ass man, 40-some-year-old man, letting white folks call him Booger. He's the football version of Charles Barkley. So they moved to Monday Night Football for a grip of money. But it don't seem probably this probably gonna take a couple more seasons before I kind of like, okay, yeah, I can see y'all. Yeah, I see y'all. They're not entertaining. When Troy Aikman first started commentating, him and Joe Buck were entertaining. Now it's like you can tell they just running through it. They're just riffing. Because, sometimes Troy Aikman be looking exhausted. I'm like, what is this dude? All you got to do, I know you got to do your research, but damn, bruh, you ain't getting no sleep. But did you have some hoes over to the hotel last night, bruh? 187 the New Breed, what's cracking? Word up, for sure, bruh. Hey, y'all, let's get these donations popping. Remember, we got one more week before the end of the season for Christmas, for clothes for Christmas, book bags. I gotta say backpacks, backpacks and school supplies. So I'm asking everybody. You don't have to donate $10. You can donate $1. I don't care. Donate, but we need to get these donations popping. Can you dig it? Can I count on you? Now, what's going to start Giselle getting disgruntled is the fact that she going to end up, after a while, all she going to be able to get is losers. All she going to be able to get is the cameraman that make $80,000 a year. Look at Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. She married a science teacher that made $75,000 a year, which is peanuts in Seattle, bro. I lived in the state of Washington. It's expensive as hell. It ain't as expensive as California, but it is expensive. Oregon too. The only difference is Oregon don't have no income tax and no sales tax. But they can do that because they only got one major city or medium-sized city, because Portland ain't that big. I hate Portland. That's a shitty, dingy ass, dirty ass city. Washington has state tax, bro. And sales tax. But Seattle is high. I thought it was high where I live. Man, Seattle is ridiculous. The only good thing about Portland, if you want a piece of dirty white ass, they got plenty of it. Because they got more strip clubs in Portland than they do in Atlanta. Did y'all know that? I only went to one, and I didn't stay because I saw them flat butts, and I turned around and walked right back out of there. Because as soon as I walked in, their eyes got big. Ooh, a trick, a black trick. Okay? I turned around, walked right back out. When I looked back, they looked disappointed as a mug. Exactly. I was going to say that too, W. Trey. Portland is a drug haven. All you got is a bunch of drug addicts. And them white drug addicts be stealing, just like they do here. Every time I look at my phone when I get ready to go to bed, there's somebody posted something talking about somebody done stole something out their car. Well, clean your garage out, put your car in there. I don't leave my car out here. I put my car in the garage. You need an act of God to get in my garage. And even if you do, I'm fill you full of this hot shit. Okay? I got my Kit Kat. You digs? Got more than that for them. So they want to run up on me, they gonna get done up. You run up, you get done up. That's why I advise everybody, if you're not in the state of New York and California, and even if you are, try to get a concealed carry permit. Oh man, the Twin Cities ain't shit no more, man. They done fucked it up, bro. They done fucked it up, man. They got a bunch of racist ass niggas up here. Dude, it ain't like it used to be. And yeah, true enough, part of that is because I grew up. Okay? Okay? Y'all crazy. Mr. Snow, what's cracking? Boys, it's some of the usual suspects in here. I'm like, we got 187 the New Breed, we got Tony Snow, we got Justin in this bitch, we got W. Trey. Shit, boy, look at here. Twin Cities ain't fun no more. They ain't fun no more. These women used to act like man eaters up here. As soon as you came up here, you look like a decent black dude with a job. I got him. You don't see that energy ain't up here no more because they done imported all these racist ass white women from Atlanta, from Houston, all these schools down south. Because every time I ask them, I'm like, you ain't from up here, are you? No. I'm like, where you from? Oh, I'm from Houston. So what you doing up here? Oh, I took a real high paying nurse's job at Mayo Clinic. So she probably getting broke off $140,000 a year. Okay? Especially if she got like 10, 15 years in. But you got a lot of young white women who are nurses up here. Because I see them at the VA with their sorry asses. Oh, for real? Yeah, it ain't fun no more like it used to be, man. Everybody done got old, man. My cousin over here, he done got old. I done got old. Everybody done got old, man. People ain't hanging out like they used to. You know, I'm almost 60 years old, man. I ain't trying to be in them streets. Look at my gray ass beard. Now, if I got some business out there, I'll be out there, but I ain't ripping and running up and down the street when it comes to no women. That's why I don't put that kind of pressure on myself no more. Well, hey Gilbert, what's happening, man? Um, why they call it Twin Cities? Why they call it Twin Cities? Because you got two medium-sized cities right next to each other. You got St. Paul right here to the east of me, and then Minneapolis is right here. The only thing separating them is the Mississippi River, the mighty Mississippi. That's the only thing separating them two cities. So that's why they call it the Twin Cities. You got two medium-sized cities that sit right next to each other, but they're totally incorporated, separately incorporated. Okay, St. Paul's vibe is totally different, dude. You cross that river and go over to St. Paul, it looked like it's an uninhabited city. It's dead as Fred over there. When they say Freddie's dead, Freddie's been dead over there. You go to their bars over there in St. Paul, they look, man, them people look like they ain't having a good time. Now, my cousin said there are some spots over there in St. Paul that are popping better than some of the places we went to. But, man, they going to all these damn bars. Okay? Now, remember, a woman Giselle's age thinks that her money is gonna make up for the fact that she ain't got no man, and it ain't, because all she gonna get is leeches, boy toys who are leeches, and dusty dudes who are leeches. That's all she gonna end up attracting. She not gonna attract no guy like Tom Brady, because even if they didn't have no children, I don't think too many men will be running up on her at 40 years old. Think about that for a second. And see, this is the playbook that I'm laying out theoretically as to why when you push your basket through the grocery store or you go somewhere in public, you got some American woman sitting there looking all disgruntled. She got that sexual constipated look on her face. All women ain't getting dick down, fellas. They want you to think that, but some of these women don't have nobody, and they ain't just ugly chicks either. Because I can tell you right now, my ex-wife ain't nothing to look at. There ain't been nothing to look at, and she got a simp over there. Now, when you see him, you think he's a leprechaun, but then again, that's all she qualified for. Because her sister was telling me, yeah, she up here crying, talking about she ain't gonna get nobody look as good as you, and she ain't gonna get nobody that has your drive. You goddamn right you ain't. That's what, see, that's another thing with a lot of these women, and the reason why I'm covering this tonight. A lot of these women are disgruntled because they can't get back with number one. Number one don't want them. See, that's what really chaps the hide of my ex-wife, is the fact that she's still in love with me and I don't want to have nothing to do with her. I ain't chasing her. I ain't calling her. Okay? Let me tell you something. If she thought she could get something out of me, some kind of value out of me, she wouldn't have a problem with me contacting her. But remember, if a woman the woman you had children with gonna always be in love with you because they had the children with you, not this new nigga. You the teacher. That's the substitute teacher. Well, actually, he ain't even a substitute teacher. He's the substitute custodian. Okay? Because that's about how useful he is. Simps are useless. Tricks are useless. Which is why they simp. Thus is why they simp and trick, because they're missing something. There's something that's essential that they are missing. It could be looks. It could be an internal issue with where they, I got low self-esteem. Because a lot of people talking about, you got a lot of some of these young cats talking about they look up to Steve Harvey. I'm like, why? This man been married 3 times. It did, and ain't his present old lady one of Meech's old bitches? Ain't that Steve Harvey's wife is one of Meech's bitches? Because he had women all over the country and he had kids with women all over the country. And what did Mr. Simp do? He adopted them children. Lori Harvey ain't his kid. His daughter, he got two twin daughters. They older than Lori Harvey. They in their 30s. Yeah, but somebody told me at a couple live streams back that that dope boy that's got federal time is Meech from BMF. That's what somebody told me. I don't know how true it is, but I know the dude that's father her two daughters. That nigga got a kingpin statue. One of them did. The other one's out right now. He's out now because one of them did 17 years in federal penitentiary. One of their daddies is out because she got two different baby daddies. Okay? And of course, she started tripping when Steve Harvey's sorry ass came on the scene. I don't see how any man worth his salt can look up to Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey is a simp. He's a simp. Just because he make money don't mean he ain't a simp. Just because he make money don't mean he's somebody that you should look up to. I don't look up to simps because there's something deficient about these guys. If you don't pick up on that, something is wrong. I never looked up to men who were simps and tricks because you're not using your talent, which is this organ up here. You're not using it. Because when you got to trick your money off or you got to reach for your wallet to paying for some other man's children, women amongst themselves will be talking about you saying that nigga dumb as hell. Because even them women are saying, this nigga fell for my bullshit. Damn, the Iceman got the fuck up out of here. This nigga, I can't get rid of him. She made it clear that she gets sick. She gets sick of this nigga. Talking about he be using big words. He don't understand and all this kind of stuff. Trying to pretend like he on her level. I said, well, that's what you qualify for. That's what you qualify for. Yeah, no, his first wife, no, he's been married 3 times. His first wife he married when he was broke and dusty. She divorced him when he started doing comedy. The second wife is who you talking about. She was down for him, but there was some things, foul ass things she was doing too. Which is why he got to the point where he couldn't stand her ass. Okay? Now, this one he got now, everybody know that bitch is around because of the money. Everybody know that. I guarantee if Steve Harvey went bankrupt right now and went broke, like MC Hammer broke, you think she wouldn't be in the wind? Look here, man, I'm not adopting nobody's children. You understand me? I might be cordial towards your children, but I'm not like taking care of them. No, hell no. Well, you got to engage with my son, my daughter, if you want to be with me. Bye. Because the best, all they going to get is, hey, man, how you doing? Hey, so how you doing in school? Oh, okay, cool. So what sports you play? Oh, you like to play baseball? That's cool. That's cool. Who's your favorite team? That's as far as it's going with me. Cordial, being cordial. I ain't going to sit up in nobody's house with no attitude because I don't want you sitting up in mine. Of course. That's what simps say, duh, betray. I'ma marry you on sight. See, a lot of brothers see a halfway decent sister with green eyes and they lose their mind. The Steve Harvey wife ain't all that. She's a 5.5. She ain't all that. Because her body ain't his second wife, she had a banging body. This one he got today, she ain't. She might be kind of prettier in the face, but that's as far as it gonna go. I would give her a strong 5.5. That's as far as I give her. Exactly. Crying like Tyrese on social media. I want to see my daughter. Nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's the ego. Remember, this dictates what you gonna act like when you a man. This don't lie, people. This is what I got my master's degree in, my second master's. This stuff. Okay? Because I chose the psychotherapy option. And by the way, if there's anybody that need life coaching, whether it's dating, general life stuff, grief, any of that kind of stuff, go to asktheiceman.com and sign up for a session, and we'll chop it up and get you on the right path. I do career advice too, and dating advice. Some of these women will be around you for because you got money. Tyrese is a beast in the studio and on stage, but he must be a simp. A lot of these, man, let me just put this out here. A lot of these these brothers that be acting, brothers that be in the music industry, a lot of them are simps and tricks. A lot of them just simps. They just tricks. They just simps and tricks. That's the only way they get women. You got all that money, you got all that prestige, and you can't leverage that to get you some free ass. That don't make sense to me, because I've been broke and got rock star treatment. Hey, I'm pulling up front of the house. I'm in front of the house getting dome in the car. Okay? I'm knocking out the smoking the boots in the car. I'm getting dome on the car, in the car. Okay? Yeah, I'm still working on a dating Bible. When you see these actors and these singers and these rappers, when you see them, you see all these women leaving their ass, that's because dude ain't got no personality outside of. See, women see somebody like Tyrese on stage and they say he handsome, he got that dark chocolate skin, he sexy as hell. But some of these people, when they walk off the stage, they are not pleasant to be with. Because in their mind, that paper they got should replace any social deficiencies that they happen to have. That's why those of you who have no social skills and you don't know how to talk to women, it's a waste of time for you to be hitting women in their DMs, because once they meet you in person, they're going to see you don't know how to talk to women. You ain't got no experience with women. They're going to pick up on that. Pick up on this. Okay? Hey guys, let's get these donations popping. I'm about to take a break. Rachel, tell me having gay thoughts. What the hell? Yeah, exactly. That's why I say, man, them days been over with. And it could be because I'm not the same person. I was younger then. I had more energy back then. I'm almost 60 years old. So you think, hell man, I ain't got the energy be clowning like that. Plus I just don't even want to do it. the drive ain't there. I ain't chasing no broads, man. Yeah, there's still some broads around here to holler at, but they done got old. And I really don't want a 40, 50-year-old woman. I really don't, to be honest with you. Other than to roll around between the sheets, I don't want nothing else. I don't want no relationship with you because all you're gonna do is cause trouble. You're gonna be a disciplinary problem, and it starts right here with the id and the ego, and the superego to a lesser degree, because reality doesn't add up to their grandiose view of themselves. See, when you got fat, ugly black women calling themselves queen, I done seen that I don't know how many times you going on Tinder. Unfortunately, I was, this is back in the day, looking at women in the Twin City, all these fat, ugly black women, and almost all of them talking about my name's Queen. No, you ain't a real queen. Because if you got to call yourself a queen, you ain't a queen. And that ain't something that somebody would go around and say. That's why everybody know that Kanye is full of shit. Kanye's out here thinking he's so eclectic and so talented that like he Michael Jackson or something. He can just do what he want to do. And then white folks is like, nah, nigga, nah, nigga, you can't do what you want to do, nigga. Let's take $600 million of that money. Okay? They know Kanye ain't got a full deck. They know that. Because after a while, they ain't gonna listen to what he said. Because Kanye just want to get notoriety and clout. And Kanye said that he's a genius. Did you ever hear Michael Jackson, Prince, Aretha Franklin, any of our brothers, Smokey Robinson? Have you heard any of them talking about I'm a genius? I ain't never heard none of these geniuses, Stevie Wonder. I ain't never heard none of these true geniuses ever say they were a genius. Look, let me tell you something. Kanye's a great producer with what he does, but he ain't no Quincy Jones. Okay, let's just cut the bullshit. He ain't no Quincy Jones. All right? Kanye trying to act like he eclectic and he's weird and the reason why he's that way is because he's so talented and genius. Come on, man. Kanye is got a grandiose view of himself. Goes back to this, people. This goes back to that old saying, that story that you read in elementary school, that the emperor has no clothes. It goes back to that. Okay? Now, this woman, remember, when these women try to line up reality, the ego, reality is the ego. Okay? This regulates your impulses and how you behave. And the superego is the part of the cognition that it regulates how you behave out in the social environment. Okay, that's what that superego is about. Okay, they look at their reality, the ego, and they see it's not matching up with the grandiose mess that they done concocted in their head. Okay? And believe it or not, they can't even extrapolate why they feel that way and what led them to think that way. Because I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of these women who think they fine online, they ain't fine. You got guys still saying Halle Berry fine. Halle Berry is not fine. I don't know what you looking at. Halle Berry ain't been fine in 15, 20 years. She really wasn't all that then, but she was pretty as hell. So the point that I'm trying to make to you guys is this. When these women look at their ego and then they look at their super ego and they realize I'm being treated this way, but I see myself another way. See, super ego and the ego shuts all that down. You know what happens next? They get disgruntled. They get angry. They get the pooty face. So by the time you see this woman in the grocery store, she got her ass on her shoulders. It ain't difficult to meet women in person, but you gotta, you can't run up on no chick in a dark alley trying to holler at her. She gonna think your ass about to do something to her. You gotta use some damn sense, which is what your ego should tell you. Your ego should tell you, hey, this ain't gonna work. But when, you know how you with that homeboy and he tries to talk to women everywhere y'all go, the woman is trying to do her job and this nigga trying to talk to her. Y'all ever been around a nigga like that who don't read social cues? I'm like, cuz, man, leave old girl alone, man. She ain't interested, dude. That's how my cousin was in Brazil. Just running up on women he shouldn't be talking to, but then the women who did want to fuck with him, that looked better than them hoes he was fucking with, he wasn't interested. Some niggas just like to chase. Okay? What does that go back to? Id. Low self-esteem. Okay? And this particular person I'm talking about comes from a single female head of household, so you can see. Exactly. Delusions of grandeur. Okay? Kanye is not going to stop this foolishness until the dominant society finds a way to shut all of his shit down. Which, if he keeps doing this, they may do it. They may just write him off, say, oh, he did. We know he did. He just running his damn mouth. He don't believe half the shit he talking. To sit up here and say you admire Hitler, come on, man. Come on, man. You doing the most right now, player. Come on, that ain't even necessary. When you start acting like that, he's an idiot. Don't nobody take Kanye seriously. I'm gonna run for president. Who gonna wanna call that nigga Mr. President? He ain't got no qualifications. He just got money. He ain't got no qualifications to be nobody's president. Not even the president of the Raccoon Club. He ain't even qualified to be president of the water polo team. Fuck out of here. But see, he get away with that stuff because young whites and white Hispanics buy his music. Black folks ain't buying Kanye. The reason why he's so grandiose, because he sees himself as being more valuable than he is. Okay? Exactly. They use his energy for mockery and entertainment. Just be laughing at it. Just like they sit on TV and laugh at black women. I was looking at one of these below deck shows on Bravo, and there was this group of doctors, 2 black women, and the rest of them were white women, and 4 white women. 2 black women and 4 white women. All of them doctors at the same hospital, in the same department. And one of the white women, when they got ready to take a picture, she reached over the white girl that was sitting next to her. She reached over and grabbed this black woman's weave and pulled it. You could see that. You could see her, she looked like Cynthia G, Synthetic G. Okay, no bangs. Okay, and that black woman said, "You don't touch my hair." And as soon as she did it, she looked at the white girl that she reached over, and they were. I saw that. The Iceman caught that. Because a lot of these black women, y'all be hanging around these white women and they be clowning y'all asses. You are what they call comic relief for them white women. Okay? And when old girl, when she saw the black woman was getting mad, she got up and went to claim she was going to the bathroom, and the white girl that was sitting next to her went with her so they can talk about her black ass. And then, you know how all white folk, what do? When they get caught out here with the bad racist behavior, what do they say? Oh, everybody makes mistakes. I should be forgiven. There's no issue here. Nothing to see here. You're just overreacting, black person. She started running that hustle. Because let me tell you something, if you got 4 white women, at least half of them gonna be racist. 2 of them gonna be racist as hell. The other 2 might be mildly racist, but they still racist too. Because the primary charter person who paid for the trip, she said to her, if your friend touched my hair again, I'm gonna fuck her up. Okay? See how black women act? And see, the other black woman, she was just, you could tell she was a Negro Bedouin. She looked like the typical chick that probably grew up in Seattle. Hair all fucked up, got fake titties. So she date white men. Or she fucks white men. A lot of these black women don't date white men, they just fuck white men. Okay, let's just keep it a buck. You don't have to have a degree to become president, but let's face it, we need somebody that has serious critical thinking skills. Some people get it, some people have it without going to college. But for a job like that, I would prefer you have at least a bachelor's degree. At least Trump had a bachelor's degree from an Ivy League school. Okay. Now, this black woman had all that smoke for the friend, but none for the person that actually fucked with her. Everybody hit the like button. Guys, let's get these donations popping. I'm going to go ahead and take a break. Guys, let's get these donations popping. People ain't donating. Come on, man. 187 in Newbury. Come on, let's go, guys. W. Trey. Let Andre T. Let's get these donations popping, man. Mr. Snow. Come on, man. Let's get it cracking. If you could support Honky McGee and his cable companies and his restaurants and all these other businesses they have that you don't benefit from, it's time for you to step up and work with your people. Because remember, the information is free. My time ain't. Okay, so let's get it cracking, or we just call it a night. All right. And by the way, those of you who are not participating in the chat room, I know who you are. I ain't stupid. I'm paying attention to the chat room. Don't think you doing something slick. Okay? Let's get these donations cracking. All right? Otherwise, we're going to be done. Okay. Okay, since you guys are not going to donate, we'll just go ahead and call it a night. Okay? Because I was going to get into some other stuff, but you know what? I'm just, like I told you guys, if you're not going to cooperate, you know our fundraise. If you're not going to cooperate, then we're going to go ahead and do something else. All right?